How you doing, everyone? This is Kevin. We're back with another video. We're going to be working on our fire pit. I'm going to work this video here. We're going to be working on the top piece where we can put a Dutch oven over top of the fire pit, and I'll show you what I've got to work with. I've just been sitting here trying to figure out what kind of metal I'm going to use to build the bracket to lower and raise the Dutch oven or pot, cast iron pot, over the fire. So let me show you up close what we're going to be using here. Okay, I thought maybe this rebar, I have some 3/8 dowel and I don't think it's heavy enough. I think this 1/2 inch rebar is going to be heavy enough. And this is the piece that we showed you in the last video that slid down on the rod that the grate is on for the grill. And we're going to mount this somehow on the top of this so we can raise it and lower it like that. But what I want to do now, I'll show you a little better what I mean on the grill. But what I want to do now is I want to get a loop bent into this end so we can hang our pot on it. So we're going to work on getting a loop on this. Let me show you on the grill what I mean. See, this is the piece we said we would slide down on the top of here. All I did was cut it off and clean it up. And this piece here, I want to be able to put this over top of the burner and be able to lift it and lower it. Just so, and then I still want to be able to twist it off of the fire if I want it off of the fire and put it back on the fire. Lower it and raise it. So we'll go ahead and we'll get us a loop bit in the middle, on the end of this. Hopefully we have enough of this rod, because I really don't think I have any more of this laying around. So let's get to it. Alright, what we're going to do now is we're going to cut some little blocks. We need 3 little blocks that we can mount on top of that big piece of pipe here to be able to adjust our pot up and down on there. So we're just cutting 3 chunks of this off. Okay, we cut our 3 little pieces of metal, and I put a washer in there because I don't want that to be tight. And I clamped them down. Now what we're going to do is we're going to weld that right to the top of this pipe. That way when we set it down on there, this top piece was where the rebar will be welded on right there. So we're just going to go ahead and weld this up. So we'll have this piece done. Now, so we could just set this right down on the top, and that center piece, we're going to loosen this bolt. And this center piece is where this guy is going to weld. We're going to weld it right on there. So we'll be able to loosen that bolt up, and then this whole thing should swivel up and down. Should be able to lower it and raise it. We're probably going to end up having to extend onto this rod because I don't think it's going to be long enough by the time I get it all. I just want to make sure that it goes down, the pot goes down pretty far. So we're going to clean this edge up on this thing and get this welded here. Okay, we got that tacked on there, and that's basically how it's going to work. You'll be able to raise it up, and down. It should work out pretty good. But now what we got to do in the back here is I need to weld. That's why I had this little piece of dowel here. We're going to weld it up the back. Up and down through the back, and then we're going to weld a ring on here with a hook, so we'll be able to raise it and lower it, hopefully raise it and lower it by using a hook, so it'll be in there a little better. It'll at least keep it from falling down in either direction. I'll show you how that's going to work out here in a few minutes here. We're going to go ahead and drill us a series of holes up through this so we can get this welded onto the back here. Okay, what I did is I cut another piece of this pretty small and drilled a hole through it, and we're going to weld this right on the back of here, and that way that will give us a place to put our hook that's going to go allow our rod to go up and down. So we could weld that on just about anywhere right in there. Get that marked. We just want it to, don't have to be a lot. I'm thinking right in there somewhere. So we'll go ahead and weld this guy right into place and then figure out the rest. I'm just kind of playing it by ear and just doing it whatever way we can. Okay, what I did was I hurry up and bring it over here, and while it was still hot, and crimped it around there. And this is going to be the rod for our adjustment up and down. So we'll be able to weld that little plate along this and drill holes through it and be able to have different adjustments for up and down. And it should stay right in place with that hook holding it in there. Alright, I think I know where I want this bent in a 90-degree angle going that direction. So we're going to heat it up with the torch and get it bent right there. I got a little mark on it. And then we're going to work on our other plate. Okay, we're going to let that cool down, then we'll start on the other piece. Alright, now I got that little plate right here with a bunch of holes drilled in it. This is going to be our adjustment for our raising and lowering the pot. So I'm going to get this welded into place here where I want it, and we'll see what it does here. Now I have that pretty tight on the top right now, just to, because I want that tight. I just got to get it lined up nice and neatly on here so it'll work. So we're going to get that welded on there. Okay, what I've done is I took the washer out of here, so now this thing is pretty loose in there. And I put a little groove in this thing here, so when you put it down in your hole, it's going to stay in the slot. So we have adjustments from there all the way down to here. Now I don't know how big the pot is. If we have a small pot, it fit there, but if you have a big one, you have to bring it up just a little bit more, which I think this is going to be plenty close enough to the fire and plenty far enough away from the fire. So we got that pretty much done. I will have to extend onto this handle a little bit to give us a little more leverage when we're lifting that pot. I may just go in and get a pot and stick on there. Now I did cut this inside pipe, the inside pipe here. I cut about 1 1/8 inches off of there, or 1.5 inches, maybe close to 1.5 inches, and it put it a little closer to the fire. Now I don't know exactly how close we're going to need it, but I do think that this is going to work out just fine. It's got little hooks in there, like I said. We've got plenty of adjustment on it, and then we may not be using the grill itself when we're using this piece here, and we could always just take this off and put it off to the side, or just take the grate out of it and move the grate out off to the side. One thing about it is I didn't want to leave the grate out in the weather, because this is what we're going to be cooking on. So that's why I kind of I cut the ring and then cut the grate, put the grate inside this ring. That way I can take this and put it inside to where it's not going to get rusted up and be real nasty for the next time we go to use it. So it's coming along. It's definitely coming along pretty good. I had to go in and get one of my little Dutch ovens. I know this is the one you set in the coals. It's got the little legs on it, but it fits in there pretty good. This is about the size, if it was just me and Julie, this would be about the size we need. And I think it's going to work out just perfect. I could take the grate out and move it down another notch if I wanted to, but I think it's fine right where it's at. I think that would be good for cooking. And like I said, I still have plenty of adjustment on this thing. I know I'm going to have to adjust the handle a little bit. We could actually put it down in there just like that and let it cook. And then we could still swing it off to the side if we have to, get it away from the fire. It's too hot or whatever. It's still going to work out that way. And then we can adjust it. We can bring it up. If we want to bring it up, we can bring it up as high as we want. And just let it stay warm right there. I think this is going to work out pretty good. But I am going to have to extend onto the handle that goes off of this. I'm going to have to extend on the handle because it is a little heavy and there's no food in there yet, so it's going to be a lot heavier. Okay, I just took a piece of 1/2 inch pipe and welded on the back of this, and I think that's going to give us more than enough to adjust our pot, our leverage. I think that's going to work out really good. Well, we got a good bit done in this video, so we're going to go ahead and stop this video here, and this will be part 3. Don't forget, click the bell down there so you can get part 4. And part 4, hopefully, we're going to be putting the wire around to keep the hot dogs on the rack. And then we're going to have to put some, we're going to probably weld some pipes on the bottom so we can do a roof bolt into the ground for this thing. And then we still got to get it cleaned up. We got to burn it out and get the paint off of it. And get, if we're going to do any painting to it, we want to do it then with the high temperature paint. So hopefully we can get that all in part 4, and then we're going to fire it up. We're going to cook some food, that's for sure. I don't make a fire pit unless I get to eat a steak on it, and you guys know that. So don't forget, click the bell down there, get them alerts. Make sure you guys share them videos. I appreciate all the help you guys have been giving me on YouTube by sharing and watching my videos. So I would like to tell everybody thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment if you'd like. Till next time.